welcome back. Today's video is on how to build a slightly more secure base in the game Rust. Now bear in mind, in this game nothing is really secure. I don't care who you are or what you got. Where there's a will, there's a way. Someone will always find a way to get into your stuff. But this is just, a basic little slightly secure base. Now, this base will cost you 481 planks, that's 4,810 wood, and 4,900 pieces of metal for the metal bars and doors. So, as you can see, a little bit of farming is going to be involved. Now, searching for the proper location. This is important. You want to be close to stuff like rad towns and definitely close to resource fields, but not so close that someone can easily see you. You don't want to be right on the side of the road. As you can see here, I'm kind of going up into the mountains away from the road. Now you'll get a good view. This is a nice secluded little spot. It's defensible. It's got a good view of everything, and it's hidden, but still close enough that I could farm easily if I needed to. Now here you see laying foundations. Again, be sure and test your areas. Make sure you can put foundations where you want to put your foundations. And make sure you know where you're going to need to put things to block people from towering into your base. I said in my past video, I do like to incorporate the natural geography of the game into my builds. So here's a little example of that. You can see the rock that I've incorporated and actually built around, and I actually have built a tree and a couple trees around and into this little base. So here I am just putting up pillars. Again, be careful how you lay your pillars. You don't want to lay them in the middle there like that. This one, it can be a little tricky when you're building inside a rock. I know it's there because I was able to see it when I went to build on top of it again, but be aware, something sometimes takes a few tries to get it to place properly, and you want to be careful and not just click. Here is my doorway. That's going to be the entryway into the house. It's kind of hidden, secluded. Now this is a wooden base, and keeping that in mind, you want to remember that it is only 2 C4 to break open wooden walls. That includes window and door walls. It also is 2 C4 per metal door, which is why you want to have a lot of them. You don't want to have one door and then nothing inside. So we've got the outer frame up. Now I'm putting stairs. You can go as high as you want. Obviously, the bigger you build the base, the safer off you're going to be if you put your stuff right in the middle. For the purposes of this video, this is only going to be a 3-story base, so my safe room, so to speak, is going to be on the inside somewhere in the middle floor. Now I'm laying some ceilings here, just kind of putting it all together. And we're just going to kind of go through and place everything down, and again, I've built that little room. If I had to stop there, I have walls and the ability to put a door if I had to go. I could seal that up and be pretty secure. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. This is actually going to be the next stairwell to go up to the next tier. You don't want to just do one straight tower all the way up. It's much better to have them on opposite sides, or at least a fair distance away. If you're going to have multiple floors, don't just do one big tower going straight up, because again, that makes it much easier for people to get into. To get to this one, you'll see as the video goes on how many doors they'd have to blow through and or walls to get to that other stairway. Now again, nothing is really safe in this game, and this isn't any kind of guarantee or anything that's gonna make your stuff 100% safe. It just doesn't work that way. Anyone with enough time, patience, and equipment can get into pretty much anything. You've seen those pyramid-shaped bases, I'm sure, that people claim are unrateable. It's not true at all, and that's quite frankly a little bit chintzy and kind of lame, I think. It's more of an exploit than an actual you know, proper use of game mechanics, which I'm not too keen on, so I will not be building bases that way. And plus, again, if someone really wanted to, they could get into it. They could tower up, they could build spikes and put boxes on the spikes and hop into it that way. With enough C4, enough time, anything is possible. But again, this is just to kind of show you how to make a semi-secure base for a reasonable amount of resources. Now, I did tell you the resource cost is fairly high on this one. Obviously it's not a starter base. It's going to take you some time to farm those resources. So here you see me putting in the window pieces. Now, I said before, I do like the windows because, you know, with bars on them, they provide adequate cover, and they also are defensible positions. They allow you to be able to see what's going on outside without being unsafe, and if anyone's trying to get in, you can shoot them before they get a chance to. Because remember, it's much better to die inside your base, and you can just respawn at your bed or sleeping bag, as opposed to being outside and then having no stuff even if you spawn back inside, because then you'll just get killed again. And that's never any good. Normally when I build my bases, I usually leave a little bit to get out onto the roof, just because I like to have the opening. I do, like I said, like the windows, but I prefer the open space, and, you know, I think I have a little bit better chance. That's just a preference thing. You can do it either way, use windows or roof access. Just remember, if you're going to do roof access, don't really want to provide too much place for people to build up there. Sometimes if you leave just a little bit sticking up, they can tower right up the side, and you know, then they have free reign to lay explosives or whatever they need to do to get in from up top. But again, in any base, you kind of want to put your stuff more towards the middle than towards the top or towards the bottom, because think of those anywhere there's an entrance, just think of that as kind of a danger zone that you don't want to have anything good near. Now also, when I build my base and I put boxes and things around, I don't really put everything all in one room. I have several loot rooms usually, and several decoy rooms, and then a crafting room. And another little tip I found out the hard way: don't keep all your crafting materials right there next to your crafting bench and stuff, because someone was able to blow into my house, actually ran out of C4 when they reached the crafting room, and then was able to sit there and with the materials I had craft more. So it was kind of a hard way to learn. Maybe that's a stupid noob mistake, but I mean, I was a noob at the time, so I really didn't know any better. And I learned kind of a harsh lesson, basically having to start from scratch, because they took everything that time. So hopefully I want to help you guys not have to deal with those sort of problems, and, you know, keep the stuff that you work hard for. And now we're just kind of finishing up, putting on the last finishing touches here, just throwing out the last doors and whatnot. Filling in the last doors and putting on the last window bars, and now going outside to have a look from the outside. Now here's what it looks like. It's basically just a big cube. And now be wary that building close to the rocks like that is cool. Just make sure that the rocks aren't easy to get up on. You know, sometimes I put a door to get out on the rock. Most of the time the doors or the rocks there are not easily accessible from all sides, because that can pose a bit of a threat. Again, here's ramps to make sure, or to help make sure you don't get towered into. Although being a cube, that's not really a threat. If I didn't have bars in the window up there, though, it would be. Just put the little ramps around so nobody can build any extra platforms. Again, they're easily destroyable with a hatchet or a pickaxe. Sometimes what you can also do is just build strangely placed or off-kilter placed foundations out there with a couple pillars in bad building places so they can't build anything on top of them. Now here's my sleep room. It's pretty much, it is on an outer wall, but it's a secure outer wall. There's no way to tower up to that. There's no way to get to it to blow off and kill me in my sleep. And then here's a little look from the outside, and here's a look of the surrounding area and how it's kind of camouflaged in there with the rocks, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you out. Be sure to follow me on YouTube and look for me on Twitch as well, Trunks42910. I do broadcast from time to time, do fun little how-tos and show you some new games and stuff. Alright, thanks.